Oranges are an important symbol in The Godfather, and their hidden meaning has become a commonly used shorthand in visual language. Adapted from the Mario Puzo novel of the same name, Francis Ford Coppola's 1972 gangster epic revolves around aging mob boss Vito Corleone as he reluctantly hands the reins of his powerful criminal empire to his wayward son Michael. At the time of its release, The Godfather was briefly the highest-grossing movie ever made. Universally praised as a masterpiece, The Godfather is full of symbols and motifs for eagle-eyed viewers to spot. The Godfather was also one of the cornerstones of the New Hollywood movement, in which dark, edgy, violent, cynical movies unexpectedly became commercially viable. And it began a string of all-time great movies directed by Francis Ford Coppola, followed by The Conversation, The Godfather Part 2, and Apocalypse Now. From horses' heads to offers that can't be refused, many elements of The Godfather have entered the cultural zeitgeist. Oranges appear intermittently throughout the movie whenever something bad is about to happen. But the intention behind this motif isn't the same as the meaning that the audience reads into it. The oranges foreshadow death and tragedy in The Godfather. Oranges often came before a death or otherwise violent scene in The Godfather. Oranges _in_the_street_in_the_ Godfather. Oranges can be spotted all throughout The Godfather, and they always appear before character deaths or other shocking tragedies. When Vito Corleone is buying oranges in the street, he gets shot. As he falls to the ground, the oranges scatter across the street. Before the severed horse's head appears in Jack Woltz's bed, oranges are seen on the dinner table where he's eating with Tom Hagen. Right before Vito's death near the end of The Godfather, he's peeling an orange and making faces with the rind in his mouth to amuse his grandson. In every case, the oranges foreshadow a tragedy that is about to befall a character. When oranges appear, it's a message to the audience telling them not to get too attached to whichever characters are in the scene. Once audiences know to watch out for oranges, it might seem like a spoiler to telegraph every tragic plot turn. If oranges appear before a death, the audience can see it coming. But each tragedy foreshadowed by oranges still arrives as a surprise because the form that tragedy takes is always different. No one could predict the decapitation of a horse, and Vito's death by heart attack is subversively undramatic. The oranges were just meant to brighten up the somber set. Oranges weren't originally intended to mean something more in The Godfather. Vito sitting in a garden in The Godfather. In his book about the making of The Godfather, Harlan Lebo claims the oranges featured in the classic gangster movie were intended to brighten up a gloomy set. For production designer Dean Tavoularis, oranges were simply another carefully chosen complement to otherwise somberly dressed sets, Leo writes in The Godfather Legacy, via Time. Tavoularis explained, "We knew this film wasn't going to be about bright colors, and oranges make a nice contrast. I don't remember anybody saying, 'Hey, I like oranges' as a symbolic message." One of the most iconic visual symbols in cinema history happened by coincidence. If storytellers stay true to the narrative, clever devices pop up naturally.